Ever wonder how you can turn a small piece of land into a cash crop gold mine in just a few weeks? Good day, I'm Ayon, and welcome to AgriTech. On today's episode, we will be speaking with a cucumber farmer with over 4 to 5 years experience in the business. Good day, sir. Thank you so much for having us here today at your farm. It's a pleasure. We are happy to be here today. Please, kindly introduce yourself and the name of your farm to our viewers.
Good day, viewers. My name is Okolomai Kelebube. I'm the CEO of Uncle Mike's Farms. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
We know you are a very busy person. Thank you for giving us the time to speak to us today.
No problem.
Uncle Mike's farm, farming cucumber.
Yes, sir.
How did you get started?
Wow. Well, I'm a graduate. After graduating from school, the view and the perspective I had was, okay, once I come out from school, I'll get a job, I'll get something to do. I stayed for years, went into several businesses. I sold pure water, sold bread, did a lot of things with hope that I'm going to be able to sort some bills and do a lot of things. And I discovered as the year was going, I wasn't even making progress. So I thought of agric. A friend introduced agriculture to me, taught me about cucumber farming. I said, okay, let me give it a try. And I won't lie to you, for the past 5 years, it's been an amazing journey unfolding every day. So that is how I got started into cucumber farming.
Okay, brother. Thank you so much. Okay, please walk us on a typical day in your farm. How is it like? Just walk us through the process.
Okay, typical day. Well, a typical day in the farm, we come in the morning. Like what we do majorly with my workers is they come early in the morning, 6, 7 in the morning. They go back by 11 or 12 because of the sun, so they can go rest, eat, and relax. Then they come back later in the evening around 4, close by 6, 7, depending on how the day goes. Now, in these days, each day, there are unique things that need to be done. This cucumber crop is a 6-week crop. So just imagine cassava. Cassava takes a year. Now, in cucumber as a crop, each day has something you need to do to the crops. So when you do those necessary things, the crop would perform very well. When you look at the crop, you yourself will be marveled. You keep harvesting. Even yourself, you'll be asking yourself, I'm tired of harvesting. That's the truth about this crop.
Yeah.
So a typical day in a life of a cucumber farmer, you come to the farm. Of course, you have to wet the farm. You have to give the cucumber, you have to wet them at least twice a day. It's important because cucumber likes a lot of water. Okay. It needs a lot of water because it's 70% water. Okay. So a typical day, you come to the farm, okay, you make sure you wet the farm. There are different techniques of wetting. So you wet the farm. After wetting the farm, if that day is a day you are supposed to spray, you can spray. If it is not a day you should spray, maybe you start trellising the cucumbers. There's something you must do every day actually in the farm.
Okay, when you said spray, what are you spraying?
Okay, you can spray insecticides, herbicide, depending on what you are seeing in the farm. Okay. And liquid fertilizer. So it depends on that particular things you're seeing in your farm. That will determine, okay, what you are supposed to spray. You understand? So on a typical day, you need to spray the farm. So you can either spray herbicide. No, not herbicide. Insecticide. Herbicide is actually to kill herbs. So that we use it, we spray those ones when we want to kill the grasses. Okay. Yeah. So, but on a typical day, you spray insecticide, you spray liquid fertilizer to encourage the crops so that they can get enriched, because these crops does well based on how you feed them, just like a child. You need to feed a child very well for the child to perform very well. So these are things we spray the farm with.
Looking at the farm, I see the stick with the support and ropes. I thought this was only for yams and tomatoes plantation.
Okay, yeah, for cucumbers, the truth is they are climbing crops. You can see their hands. So the purpose of this trellising is because we want the cucumbers to maximize, we want to maximize the space. Imagine if this thing is not done this way, at the end of the day, this whole place will be filled up and you will not maximize the space. That's the benefit of trellising. Another benefit is your crops, when you see them fruiting, you'll be amazed. You see the fruits looking very nice. But if these fruits are on the floor, it will end up decaying and dying very early, because insects from the floor are eating the cucumber from the floor, and a lot of things. So at the end of the day, the heat of the sun that is touching the floor will also be on the beneath the cucumber. So at the end of the day, you discover that it will not even get to the market, it will start spoiling. So that's why we started trellising. When you trellis them like this, you see them grow and grow as tall as you can see. They grow very well. It gives them ventilation because cucumber also, they are living things. Just like in our primary agric, Mr. Niger D. That's how the plants too. They need air. Air needs to be touching them. They need sunlight to touch their leaves. So these things are the purpose why as we continue to experiment, we discovered, okay, it's best you trellis them. When you trellis them like this, they get sunlight, they get wind, they get breeze, they get everything they need for them to perform very well. So that's why we decided to stake them like this.
Amazing.
Yes.
Speaking of the soil, you mentioned soil now.
Yes, sir.
Can we plant cucumber on any type of soil, or are there special kind of soils for cucumber?
Generally, cucumbers need soil that will enable them to achieve those major things that plants need. Okay. Aeration, because every plant you see has roots that takes in air. It has roots, also a root that takes in water and nutrients. Okay. So you have to get a soil that permits it to get air into it and allows for the nutrients for the soil, for the plants to be able to absorb those things. So it's best you plant them with sandy soil and a bit of loamy. When you plant them, you see the cucumbers doing very well because they get all those nutrients that they need from the soil, and they pick up and they are performing amazingly well.
That's great. And in terms of diseases or pests, how do you manage them?
Okay, in terms of managing pests and diseases, there are two ways you manage pests and diseases. You can manage them ahead of them coming, or you can, when you now start seeing them, you start managing them. So what we do is we spray them as often as possible. What we do is we start spraying ahead of those pests and diseases, because there's a saying that it's best you cure a disease before it comes. I don't know. I find it difficult to say the way it's put it. So
prevention is better than
prevention, cure. Exactly. Prevention is better than cure. So we prevent it from coming. And that is why we have that's why we call it good agricultural practices. So what we do is every 4 days we spray our farm. We spray them against insects and pests. So we spray them, we fungate the farm. We don't allow people come into the farm anyhow, because humans are also vectors. Yeah. We spray the farm and we don't allow people to come in because we are doing open field. That's why people doing the greenhouse have better advantages than us. So we spray the farm as often as possible. We keep spraying them, and we don't plant them close to each other, because once that one starts dying, it tends to carry the disease over to the younger ones.
Okay. Thank you so much. In terms of the planting, yes, you mentioned of spacing. Is there any particular spacing method for the planting?
Yes, it's very important. These cucumber roots, they don't go deep into the soil. Their roots are shallow. Okay. So if you don't spacing them well, the roots end up not being able to maximize the nutrients within the circumference of where it is. So it's ideal to spacing them 5 cm apart. Okay. You're spacing them at least 5 cm apart.
Thank you so much for that answer. What is the entire period of planting and harvesting for cucumber?
Wow. I love that question, because cucumber is a crop that I love. Why do I love cucumber? It doesn't take time. If you plant cucumber today, in the next 6 weeks, you start.
6 weeks.
6 weeks. Take a look at this plant. I want you to see something. This plant you're seeing here is just 5 weeks. From the day we planted it, it's 5 weeks.
Sorry, I want to ask. This is 5 weeks.
5 weeks.
And you said if you plant cucumber within 6 weeks, you can have
on days before the week 6, the day it clocks 6 weeks gone, you must have started harvesting the cucumber.
So This plant now,
This plant is just
5 weeks.
5 weeks old on
So before you
earth.
get to 6 weeks, which is 1 week left,
You start harvesting. This is cucumber already forthcoming. This is cucumber.
would this be ready in a week?
It will be ready in less than a week.
Amazing.
It grows like magic. One thing with
Amazing.
this crop is it grows like magic. By the time you come here tomorrow, if you take cognizance of this particular one now, you come here tomorrow, it must have grown twice or thrice of its size. So that is why if you're harvesting it, you're harvesting it every 4 days.
Every 4 days.
For 4 days.
Okay.
You harvest, you come back the next 4th day. In fact, if you harvest in the morning, if you go back to your farm in the evening, it will be as if your boys forgot to harvest some.
Okay, so speaking of the cucumber itself and the harvesting, right?
Yes, sir.
After planting and then I use 6 weeks to harvest the crop. Yes, for how long will I continue harvesting until the farm is finally done?
The amazing thing about this aspect is it now depends on your managerial practices.
Okay.
Your ability to give it water as at when needed, your ability to spray it the rightful time it needs to be sprayed. But at least it will not, if you do it very well, it should take you up to 2-3 months. You are still harvesting because of your practices. And guess what? In that period of time, you're removing several bags of cucumber. You even get tired of removing.
So a single plant of cucumber will take up to 3 months harvest. And during that period, I can harvest after every 4 days.
Every 4 days you harvest from that week 6. From that week 6, you are harvesting every 4 days.
My brother, why are many people not doing cucumber farming? I always thought cucumber comes from the north of Nigeria.
My brother, it doesn't come from the north. In fact, this part of the country, oh my God. In fact, the whole African, we are blessed with lands. So part of the problem is I think information is one of the problem. Another thing is people are their minds are off agric.
Okay.
Farming is gold. Because people must eat every day. You watching me today now, you listening, you must have eaten. The stomach doesn't hear grammar. So people must eat. So if you venture into agric, but the only thing is, another thing is, some people go into agric without knowledge.
Okay.
So they end up getting their hand burned.
So you must seek knowledge.
You must seek knowledge. You must know from, not just knowledge from, because there's a saying that empty cans make a lot of noise.
Sure.
You must seek knowledge from people that have results that you're seeing. If their result is evident, you're seeing it. Now, when you seek those knowledge, then you experiment small. Don't go and start big because you have the money. You will lose. Because in every process of learning, there must be mistakes.
Yeah. Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much for that word of knowledge. So for someone like myself who is interested in cucumber farming, how can I get started?
Well, it still boils down to first getting the knowledge. It's not, most times when people talk about starting anything, they'll tell you that they need capital. And they forget that capital is not just money. Capital boils down to planning, knowledge, exposure, and so many things. So if you want to get started, first thing, you have to look for someone that will inspire you. Go to people's farm, learn from them, learn how they are doing it. When you learn, you can now start small. Don't start big. Don't start big, even if you have the money. Start small. Imagine losing a big farm. In my process of this whole thing, I've lost several farms. There are times that the farm is going and it's looking good. All of a sudden, something strikes. The farm is gone. So, someone that wants to come into this thing, it's a very good area to come into, cucumber farming or any form of farming. First and foremost, get adequate knowledge. Seek for knowledge. Then when you get knowledge, then you can now start practicing. You practice a little, and then from there you can now escalate like we are doing. You can escalate your farm. So that is it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
In terms of planting the cucumber,
Yes, sir.
how do I go about getting the seed? How do you plant from the seed or the stem? How do I go about the entire process, the land preparation and everything?
Okay, first and foremost, because we don't understand the nature of things that are happening with our climatic condition. So the first thing you have to consider is water. You have to consider water. You have to consider where it's close to water or you have a sunk borehole. Very important. In fact, I don't train people that don't have those things. You have to have those things because I won't associate with failure. So it's important to first of all get water, then you get a land, you clear the land, you clear the land very well, then you start the land preparation, the heaping of the soil. I prefer people heaping, doing bed ridges. Is very important because remember the root of cucumber doesn't go down deep. So with these ridges, the water is able to circulate very well. Ridges are the best. But when you heap them, when you do those types they use for yam, the water will not circulate very well, and then the heat will end up killing your cucumber. There are a lot of people that have those experiences. So for you to be able to get started, first and foremost, you prepare your land, you do your ridges, you mix with organic manure, compost, very important, because most of our soil, the truth about soil is just rocks. They don't have their own nutrients.
Okay.
It is this organic matter that goes to enrich the soil with those nutrients. And those nutrients are what the plants need. Just like we need all those vitamins and multivitamins, all those vitamins. That's how those nutrients are important. So you get those nutrients from poultry excreta and manure, all those excreta from humans and the rest. There are some countries that use human excreta for their planting because those excretas are rich. So you mix your soil with them, then you buy the seed. We buy the seed. There's F1 seed and there is extracted seed. Those extracted seed don't produce as those foreign seed that we buy, because those foreign seed have been stirred. We call it crop stirring. They have been stirred to perform in a way that the agronomists want it to perform. Yes, so those crops that have been stirred, they have been stirred to be able to be resistant to diseases, pests and diseases to a very large extent. They've been stirred to be able to produce very well quantity, because part of what you are doing this for is profit maximization as well. So they have been stirred. So you buy those seeds, then you plant them. After you plant them, there's a process where you go by where you stake. You have to stake them early, because if you stake them late, they're on the floor. And there's a level it gets to. If we had allowed it to get to this level without staking it, by this time it will become a very difficult it will become challenging. Why? Because by the time we're now staking it, this rope, this hands that he has, this tendon has already been, they have already crystallized, and then the cucumber is coming out, so you end up pulling it down. So these are processes you go through. The rightful way of staking, there are different methods of staking. This is one of the methods. There are different methods of staking. Some people don't use twine, they use stick to stake. So there are different methods of staking. You stake your cucumber, then you do the good agricultural practices, and you'll be amazed at the kind of results that you will get.
Did you say you had the master degree in cucumber farming? What did you say?
It was microbiology I read in school. It was microbiology, but
And now you know everything so well on cucumber farming.
My brother, it's good, and deliberate effort to learn, because you seek it.
So you're advising every new farmer to get into agriculture, cucumber farming, but they must seek knowledge first.
Please, even any venture you're going into, but agric is massive now. I'm telling you a secret, it's massive. If you're going into it, please seek for knowledge, pay for knowledge. There is no amount you pay for knowledge that is not worth it.
Okay. And in terms of the market, earlier on we saw customers came into your farm to buy this cucumber.
Yes, sir.
How do you manage?
The market is there. People will always eat. And if you look at the health benefit of cucumber, you'll be amazed. Do you know cucumber is good for the bone? Cucumber has a lot of benefits. So in terms of the market is there. We are not even able to meet up with the market. A day I have more than 3, 4, 5 customers calling. We're not able to meet up with them. So if you come in, all you just need to do, there's also a knowledge I always tell my students. First and foremost, because every region have their peculiar kind of cucumbers that customers buy. And it depends also on the kind of market you want to reach out to. There are markets that buy a particular species. There are markets that buy another species. So these are all knowledge that you have to have. You have to know what is your particular market wants. Then you produce it. The cucumbers, every of the cucumbers, they do well if you manage them well.
So it's market specific.
Market specific. So you have to know your market first. When you know your market, then you produce and wow them. See, every good product is seeked. They seek for every good product. If your product is very good, the person comes to your farm, buy first time, he will keep disturbing you for more. But when you don't do it very well, you don't have adequate knowledge, you go and plant the way they will come when the first time and they get issues, they won't come to your farm again. They will even be owing you and you have a lot of challenges. So the market is already there. You, the farmer, what are you producing? That's the question.
Exactly. Amazing. Are there some challenges you face as a cucumber farmer? Challenges you think other farmers, especially those who are into the business and other young farmers, should be aware of before getting into the cucumber business? Apart from training and seeking knowledge, what other challenges should they be aware of?
Yes, there are challenges. In fact, there is no great venture that doesn't have challenges. That's the truth. So you must make up your mind that there are challenges. Now, part of the challenges we have can be finance. You have vision, you've test run, and now you want to now do on a larger scale, and the money is not there to push it. That could be a challenge. Another thing is the government policies. There are a lot of policies that are not supporting entrepreneurs. A lot of policies. If you want to take your crop by yourself to the market, maybe you want to bypass the middlemen, which is another challenge we face. My brother, on the way you will face a lot of challenges, because when you're going to the market, you have to pay some levies, you pay this, you do this, you do this. At the end of the day, you are now sharing your profit you're sharing your profit. Another challenge we have is workforce. A lot of youth don't want to work. They don't want to put in effort. So if the government was encouraging farmers we have mechanized, we have tractors, we have other facilities, our farming would have been more fun. Because the beautiful part, one of the things that gives me joy in farming is when I see my crops growing. When you plant them, when you see them coming up like this, oh my God, you see them looking good. And you know, one beautiful thing about these crops is they appreciate you with their leaves.
Yeah.
Their leaves talks to us. So when you see them talking to you and appreciating you, telling you thank you for the effort you have put in, man, it gives great joy. So that is it about the question you just asked. Thank you, sir.
That's really, really amazing.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, brother. We
Thank
truly
you, sir.
appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Please, is there money in cucumber?
Well, there is money in cucumber. There is money in cucumber. You know, most times people ask these questions, and when they ask it, I smile. Why I smile is because cucumber is a crop that you plant in 6 weeks. You plant it from the day you plant to 6 weeks, you start harvesting. And you are going to, every 4 days, you're harvesting for close to 2 months, a month plus, depending on your ability to manage the farm. So, and in this 4 days that you're harvesting bags, series of bags of cucumber. And you are in cucumber farming, you can make times 3, times 4 of what you invested in it. So cucumber is amazing.
So there's guaranteed profit.
Yes, there's guaranteed profit when you have adequate knowledge of the farming, because it boils down to knowledge. So if you have the adequate knowledge about crop farming, cucumber farming to be precise, because there are good agricultural practices that you're supposed to be imbibing in the process. So if you're able to learn those processes and you apply it, you'll be amazed at the results you'll be getting.
For our viewers who are interested in training, buying cucumber from you, or interested in contacting you for other agricultural ventures, how can they get in touch with you?
Oh wow. Well, we on all the social media handles. We're on Facebook. We also have our contact. You can reach out to us on +234 9018182120. We're also on Facebook. You can search for Cucumber Farming Academy on Facebook. We have over 39,000 followers over there that are connected from different countries of the world that we are training and we're teaching about cucumber farming. So you can reach us on any of these channels, and we promise you to give you the very best, because our greatest joy is seeing you do well, because there's a lot of hunger around. And these little things that you see, you know, most times people neglect little things, and those are where the main thing are. Money is in the bush, like someone said today. So feel free to reach out to us. We will do our best to give you the best we can. Thank you so much.
My brother, this is very, very amazing. It's been an honor speaking to you with full of knowledge about cucumber farming and other agricultural venture. Thank you so much for your time. We truly appreciate. We wish you the best in all your agricultural endeavors.
Thank you
so much.
Thank
It's
you
been
so
an
much.
honor.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for watching. If you are new to our channel, kindly subscribe, click the notification bell, like, comment, so you never miss a conversation on agriculture that matters on AgriTech. Thank you so much.